Literally before TrackPulse, we had no means to keep track of or manage or even reach out to guests if they didn't book at the time of the first call. So there was no correspondence, there was no managing, and that was a tool that TrackPulse gives us, that ability. We originally were not making any outbound phone calls prior to TrackPulse. Then for a couple of years we brought in an alternative system that gave us the ability to place outbound calls, but the cost associated with it was outweighing the gain in bookings. So the benefit of TrackPulse is we maintained all of those features at a more manageable cost. It basically changed our perspective completely on ways that we could market to a guest or a potential guest. The system we had prior to TrackPulse literally had no information gathering on any phone call unless they locked in that reservation. So now that we have TrackPulse, we have the ability to know what our potential market is and be able to send them information that's relevant to them and encourage them to come stay with us. Yeah, Tina's been a great help from day one. She was willing to spend the time to analyze data that was coming in from TrackPulse that myself or my staff didn't have the time to analyze because it was right in the mix of our busiest time of the year. So she helped out with some coaching, call auditing, and information gathering, and narrowed it down to key points that we should then turn around and focus on for the agents and therefore to the guests. So number one is she's been a great help from a time saving standpoint and simplification of the data coming in so that I can then communicate improvements along to our agents. We created our own leads, we had outbound calls and emails, all those features we had before TrackPulse via an alternative system. So it was almost an identical program, just one, more user-friendly for the agents, and two, cost less and therefore a smarter system in the long run for us. I think the reason TrackPulse has been the right choice for our business is because we had a system, previous software in place that gave us information much like TrackPulse did, the ability to outbound, email data, marketing information, tools for the reservationists to reach out to a guest. TrackPulse has all those tools and gives us the ability to keep all the same methods as our old system, however, at a lower cost and thus a better product that we could afford and still trust all the information coming into us.